Prepare to delve into the dark depths of history as we uncover the chilling tales of the world's most notorious villains. From the ruthless drug lord who reigned terror over Colombia to the mastermind behind the Holocaust, these individuals have left an indelible mark on humanity's conscience. Join us as we embark on a journey to explore the lives and crimes of the 5 biggest criminals in history, where power, greed, and ruthlessness collided to shape the course of our world. First on our list is Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar, born on December 1, 1949 in Colombia, rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most notorious drug lords in history. He catapulted to power as the head of the Medellin cartel, a criminal organization that dominated the cocaine trade in the late 1970s and 1980s. Escobar's empire was built on the trafficking of immense amounts of cocaine into the United States, reaping staggering profits while leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. His cartel was infamous for its brutality, with violence and corruption permeating every aspect of its operations. Escobar's ruthless tactics included bombings, assassinations, and intimidation to eliminate competitors and maintain control over his illicit enterprise. The Medellin cartel's reign of terror reached its zenith in the 1980s, with Escobar becoming one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the world. Despite efforts by law enforcement to capture him, including a massive manhunt led by the Colombian government and the United States, Escobar remained elusive for years. However, his luck eventually ran out, and he was killed in a shootout with Colombian authorities in 1993, marking the end of his reign of terror, but leaving a lasting legacy of violence and corruption. Second on our list is Al Capone. Al Capone, also known as Scarface, was a prominent American gangster during the Prohibition era of the 1920s and 1930s. Born on January 17, 1899 in Brooklyn, New York, Capone quickly rose to prominence as the leader of the Chicago Outfit, a powerful criminal organization involved in bootlegging, gambling, and other illicit activities. Capone's reign of terror reached its peak during the Prohibition era, when he amassed immense wealth and power through his control of the illegal alcohol trade. His most infamous act came on February 14, 1929, with the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where he ordered the execution of rival gang members, solidifying his control over Chicago's underworld. Despite his criminal activities, Capone was revered by some as a folk hero, with his lavish lifestyle and charitable endeavors earning him a degree of public support. However, his empire eventually crumbled under the weight of federal investigations, leading to his imprisonment for tax evasion in 1931. Capone's influence waned following his incarceration, and he died of complications from syphilis in 1947, but his legacy as one of the most notorious criminals in American history endures. Third on our list is Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, born on April 20, 1889 in Austria, rose to power as the leader of Nazi Germany in the 1930s. His ascent to power was fueled by a potent mix of nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism, which he used to manipulate the German populace and consolidate his authoritarian regime. Hitler's most heinous crime was his orchestration of the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews and millions of other victims, including Roma, homosexuals, and disabled individuals. Under his leadership, Nazi Germany embarked on a campaign of conquest and aggression, plunging Europe into the horrors of World War II. Hitler's militaristic ambitions and expansionist policies led to the devastation of entire nations, with countless lives lost and untold suffering inflicted upon millions. Despite his eventual defeat in 1945, Hitler's legacy of hatred and destruction continues to haunt humanity, serving as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked tyranny and extremism. Fourth on our list is Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden, born on March 10, 1957 in Saudi Arabia, is infamous as the founder of the Islamist terrorist organization Al-Qaeda. Bin Laden's radical ideology and fervent anti-Western sentiments fueled his quest for jihad against perceived enemies of Islam, particularly the United States and its allies. Bin Laden's most notorious act came on September 11, 2001, when Al-Qaeda operatives hijacked 4 commercial airplanes, crashing 2 into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City and another into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The coordinated attacks resulted in the deaths of nearly 3,000 innocent civilians and left an indelible mark on the global consciousness. Beyond 9/11s, Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda were responsible for numerous other acts of terrorism, including embassy bombings, kidnappings, and the Bali nightclub bombing. Their relentless campaign of violence and terror not only claimed countless lives but also reshaped security policies and geopolitics worldwide, ushering in an era of heightened vigilance and military intervention in the name of counterterrorism. Fifth on our list is Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin, born on December 18, 1878 in Georgia, rose to power as the leader of the Soviet Union following the death of Vladimir Lenin in 1924. Stalin's brutal regime was characterized by totalitarian control, ideological repression, and widespread human rights abuses. Stalin's policies, including the forced collectivization of agriculture and rapid industrialization, resulted in widespread famine, purges, and mass executions. Millions of Soviet citizens perished in the Gulag labor camps, or were summarily executed under Stalin's orders, as he ruthlessly eliminated perceived enemies of the state in a bid to consolidate his power. Stalin's purges, which targeted political opponents, intellectuals, and ethnic minorities, instilled a climate of fear and paranoia throughout Soviet society, stifling dissent and perpetuating a cult of personality around the dictator. Despite his eventual death in 1953, Stalin's legacy of oppression and suffering endured, casting a long shadow over the history of the Soviet Union and serving as a grim reminder of the dangers of unchecked authoritarianism. In closing, the lives and crimes of these 5 individuals serve as chilling reminders of the darkest aspects of human nature. From the drug-fueled violence of Pablo Escobar to the genocidal ambitions of Adolf Hitler, their actions have left an indelible mark on history, inflicting untold suffering upon countless innocent victims. As we reflect on their legacies, let us not forget the lessons of the past and remain vigilant against the forces of tyranny, extremism, and violence that continue to threaten peace and stability in our world today. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the 5 biggest criminals in history. We encourage you to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments section below and to subscribe for more thought-provoking content.